sort of sound did I just react to? I personally have no idea. It is near silence in here. I say near silence because it's raining outside for the third day in a row. Rainy season here in Shelton, Washington. Window is partially closed because it's chill. And while the door is open and there are fans on outside, it's only because heat rises, and so the second story of a building is always going to be a bit warmer than the lower. So I got the fans on and the window open for a little bit of airflow so that the air just doesn't become stagnant. Yay! So it's not silence. Also, really quick spider report. The tiny little spider over there, in her orb, she's still there. Her orb is up. There is a bigger one that's above her. Her orb, I don't know. She was just up against the wall. I was over there looking at both of them and she was just up against the wall. I don't know why. So, up above them, actually tucked up between the wall and ceiling, there's a little black wolf spider in a little, let's see, turn my hand so you can see, about that big, only, where she's got a little hammock built and she's alive. I can see her. She moves when I, do stuff to webbing. So hopefully she's getting around during the nighttime and eating bugs. So, spider report, there's lots of cool spiders and it's awesome. I really like them. Thumbs up on that. Now, really quick as well, because people have asked, Amelia is doing as well as she can for being a 20-year-old kitty. She is really thin and bony, and I mean really. If you pet the top part of her, she doesn't feel all that fast. She feels thin. Once you get down past her, to her shoulder blades, oh boy, just bop down her vertebrae, and then the hips and pelvis and legs down there, it's just skin and bone. I mean, she's healthy. She's doing as well as she can. She's active. Her fur is glossy, and so she's doing well, but she's just old. She's thin, bony. My shirt keeps tearing. I tug obsessively on it, and it's so old and shabby that I've been pulling on it, and then my thumb just goes boop, right through it. So yay. All my shirts have holes in the bottoms of them. Thumbs up for that. Anyway, hopefully you are doing well. It is a brand new day and I am tired. It is 8:28. I got up late today. One of the reasons is I woke up middle of the night because, oh my God, this hurts so much. Even taking all the medications I had, all of this hurt so bad that it just woke me up and I had to lie on my back, which is difficult to do and painful. But I couldn't lay on my side. This was all just so bad. Yeah, I need surgery. Because this is just getting worse and worse and worse fairly quickly. Yay! And of course, I still needed a few extra tubs. I think I finally have them. Finally have enough. But I needed some things to put my clothing and stuff in because I didn't have the others. So I'm gonna got most of the plastic tubs gone. So I had to get some other extra heavy duty ones that were the same price or cheaper than the normal price of the other ones that I would have been getting. So I got the heavy duty stronger ones. So I'm actually going to transfer some of the things I have down in some smaller tubs into these ones and then use the other ones to put the clothing into. And then I gotta make a bug out bag with a week's worth of clothing in it for just in case. But I've got to, with my arms doing very, very poorly, I've got to get stuff packed and moved. So yeah, it's fun. And my housemates are sick and hurt, so yay. And I gotta get Amelia, since I have talked to, I did a lot of phone calls yesterday, I only got a few answers back. I have to get Amelia over to the kitten rescue place at 10 o'clock on Thursday, so that she will be taken care of. The person I talked to was very clear that they do not like to foster for any longer than 30 days, and let the lesser of 30 days, the better. And I, of course, would like to be homed in much, much less than that. So hopefully it's going to be less than a month. So she's going to be homed, and I have to write up a sheet talking up all about her, saying, who she is, what she does, what she likes, what she does. Oh, God. Oh, what she does, where she goes, the things, her habits. Yay. So I've got to get that written up, and I got to get her over to the kitten rescue place. Right now I don't have a ride, but I got to get her there at 10 o'clock Thursday, which is what, tomorrow? So I got to get her there tomorrow. Luckily I have a cat transfer thing. It is a cloth type thing. It's even got a vent on the side so that they can look out, and the hole in the front. So it's a transfer thing. She's gonna hate it, but she's gonna have to go into there, and I gotta get her over there somehow. Probably gonna have to use a taxi, which is more money. And so I gotta get her there tomorrow, which means today I gotta call up my therapist to see if I can reschedule my therapy for tomorrow morning. Because if I gotta get her there at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, I'm not gonna be able to have my therapy at 9 to 10, which is 9 to 9:45. 15 minutes of an hour session they have to use for session notes and stuff like that. So you don't have a full hour with an hour appointment, you have 45 minutes. Yay! Or 50. But thumbs up. So she's as healthy as she can be for being a bony old lady. She is my bony old lady. So thumbs up. But she's doing as well as she can, and yeah, I'm gonna be freaking devastated when she dies. But checking the rest of this, I've talked about the spider report and Amelia. And last night, as I mentioned with the tubs, one other thing I also want to mention is, yeah, I'm back to normal. I spent a couple days really sick. So I just got a cold, because if it had been anything like the Covfefe bug, I would have been sicker for longer. So I just got a cold, thank goodness. Because, as stated the day before, I went walking out in the rain with no coat. And I did great. I felt awesome. In fact, I felt like I should have been wearing shorts. I was too warm. Well, last night it was raining off and on. Mostly on, but a lot of... It's about 60% light rain, 40% mist to nothing. So I walked up the Walmart basically wearing this. And in the colder weather. And I did great. Again, I almost felt like I should have been wearing shorts because I heat up fast. Again, when I go out like this and I am hot, I'm the only one that's out like this. Everybody out is wearing coats. Sometimes those puffy coats. I don't know how they could do that. I would die. Quite literally, I would overheat, because I'm overheat just wearing a polo shirt and jeans, and I'm too hot. So, thumbs up. Yay for that. And let me take a look at the rest of my list here. Why am I pointing to the side? I have no idea, since it's up there. Because not a whole lot has happened. There was still some falling asleep time, and with all the stress, because yesterday with all the phone calls, I couldn't do much while I was trying to get the phone calls done. I had to call my sister, give her progress reports, and calling up my sister is like a magnet. You get stuck to the phone. It's hard to get pulled away from it. So it's difficult giving her just a quick status report. She is near obsessive compulsive. If there is any loose threads, it drives her nuts. She wants answers, and she wants answers yesterday. So if she doesn't have everything in place, planned to the moment, it eats at her. And so this is really driving her crazy. And my viewpoint on it, I can't help but go into this the same way I have walked into everything else throughout the rest of my life. Because I don't know any better, and I have mental ruts, like we all do, that you may not even realize that are there. That when you're in a situation, this is what you fall into because this is what you've always done. So you have a lot of subconscious ruts where you've been driving your horse and cart over the dirt road, and it's just you've gotten furrows and then become deep ruts, so that when you're just driving along the path, you got path, your wheels go along those ruts and you're doing fine. But try to turn, you can't. They're like 6 inches deep. You can't get your wheels to turn. They'll just go thunk, thunk, thunk against the side and don't come out. Well, that's roughly what happens with everybody. So there's stuff that I do that other people do in different ways, but I do because I've always done them. Did them when I was younger, kept doing as I got older without thinking about it. Now, yeah, things just happen. So I try to plan for things as best I can. I try to get ready for things as best I can. As best I can is the key point, because while my sister is obsessive and tries to get everything to 100%, I usually manage to get about 50% there. I'll get stuff packed away, like I'm packing my things up here, and they're going into storage, and so that's all taken care of. But me? Not really. What am I gonna do? Where am I gonna sleep? I don't know. I've always walked into this stuff halfway blind, like I'm doing right now. Where am I gonna sleep? I don't know. Where am I gonna live? Find out when I get there. So I'm planning as best I can. I'm trying to get into the transitional housing, but it's going to be a week before I get an answer back on the transitional housing in Bremerton, which is just a city that's about 20 miles away from where I live right now. So I'm working on that. I've got my application and stuff in for the tiny housing and the tiny apartment in the tiny housing, because they have the houses and they have at least 2 apartments in each of the housing places. So you don't get a tiny house, you get a tiny apartment in a tinier tiny apartment inside of a tiny house. But that's fine. I mean, like I say, it's 170 square feet, which is not much. That's just a little bit bigger than a storage unit. So thumbs up for that. Now, where was I? No idea. Oh yeah, so I've tried to figure out things as best I could, but most of my planning through all of my life has been get as much as I can done, but like I say, about 40 or 50%, and then walk into it blind. My sister's going crazy. I'm trying to get stuff together, and I'm going to be about 40% and then walking into it blind. Where am I going to stay? I don't know. We'll find out. I'm working on stuff. I want to find out if I can take a Greyhound bus. That's what my therapist wants me to do. You know, if you need a place to stay for a night, get on a Greyhound. Take the Greyhound halfway across the state, round trip, come back. That takes up all night. You're on a bus. Is that a place where people are supposed to stay and live? I don't think so, but I need to call up the Veterans Village. I sent them an email. Haven't gotten an answer back, so I need to find out about that. Because if I can get on a bus, you know, if it's going to be a couple days, I can take a trip on a Greyhound halfway across the U.S. and then come back. One price, couple days on a bus. They make stops so you can get out, grab something quick to eat, come on back after stretching your legs, and then you're back on the bus. Now, you got to make sure you're hydrated, and you got to make sure that you're working the muscles of your legs, because sitting can be very dangerous. the blood can pool in your lower extremities, and then when you stand up, blood clots break loose, and then bam, you're down, and then you die. The nice thing about blood clots is that it can be very, very fast and you're not going to suffer. One of the biggest things that I worry about is I said a lot. I watched a story. Boy, I'm speaking English good today, aren't I? Checking my time. I watched a story about a guy who was very depressed. Now here's the thing. He sat in an internet cafe for like 70 some odd hours straight. He did not drink. He did not get up and go to the bathroom. So his blood was getting thicker and thicker and thicker. Because if you don't drink, you're still losing fluids, and so your blood is getting thicker. And if you're not sitting, your blood, it's going to pool, and there's going to be obstruction. So he sat there and he got a blood clot in like his lower leg. And then finally, after 3 days, he got up, took a couple steps, went boom, boom, bam. He was down and unconscious. And then by the time they got any sort of emergency services there, he died. It was just that fast. So I worry about blood clots. Being on a bus, you got to worry about blood clots. So I always work my legs and do stuff. So I got to remember to work my feet and my calves while I'm sitting in my seat. Yay! Really quick else here. Just a few things I want to talk about. Well, one of them is I can't remember all of the creative stuff that I've been trying to think of. And I'm very sorry about the moments there where I was trying to figure out what I wanted to talk about and just because I sometimes just when I'm trying to illustrate that I can't think of words in the middle of speech, and so when I actually can't think of words and it's happening, my sincere apologies. So if you watched this far, I'm sorry about that. I guess I can do a little bit of talk about creative stuff, and I'm going to mostly talk again about that I think about things that I don't necessarily want to think about, but it's a house of cards that it has to all stand together. I've mentioned in the past how I don't like to think about this part at all because of who I am, where I am on my personal autism spectrum and all that. I don't like to think of stuff like bowel habits. As much as a nurse's aide for 15 years, I had to clean up incontinent people. I don't like to think about that sort of function. But that's sort of a thing that everybody has to do. So you have to deal with it in the story because it's part of the house of cards. So I had to think about, a 250-pound human being after being processed through a cryptid's digestive tract, your story's going to end as like 1 2-pound log after a hefty bowel movement. I don't like to think about that sort of thing, but that's the end result. So at least I know that. So you have to take care of that, and they have to take care of waste things, and so they'll go in and use people's toilets and houses, or there are those that are more in charge that will make a local restroom area for cryptids. Or they have to be very clean about it. King Mike is in charge, and you gotta be clean about your waste products. So everybody does that. Not something I like to think about, but everybody does it. You gotta figure it out. That's part of the house of cards. So a lot of the other things about that I think of are like that. Like when the cryptids, they're just living out on their own. The urban human cryptids. They're not all the cryptids, they're just the cryptids that I talk about. Because in this setting, all the cryptids are like, any cryptid that you can think of in the world. Like the chupacabra. Yeah, they're in this cryptid setting. They're in an appropriate area where people worry about things like chupacabra. Yeah, there are things like Mothman. The Mothman lives in an area where it's appropriate for people to think about the Mothman. all of these urban legends and cryptids and all these things, they're real too in this setting, but I'm not worried about them. I like the setting of Brookerton, South Carolina, the fictional town of Brookerton, South Carolina. Checking my time, where it's at the 1.5 million people on the fictional Samadan River. So I like that setting. I write about urban, or talk about, it's hopefully going to write one day, talk about the urban cryptids. And the urban cryptids, the human, are, of urban cryptids, about 80% of them are human. They look human based on human archetypes. Of those 20% that are left, 50% of those are humanoid, where they're not human, but they're like King Mike. King Mike is a ghoul. He's not human, he's a ghoul, but he's humanoid. And then 50% of those are like the characters of Sanyo, who's a spider cryptid, who's got a body as big as a golden retriever with the appropriate orb weaver legs. And Sanyo came over in a boat shipment from a different continent and cryptidified here. Tarek is a cryptid snake who had an unfortunate life, very unfortunate, and so even though they are a dark cryptid and they have to eat one human being every month, they hate that. They don't want to eat anybody. They don't like hurting people. Especially they don't like eating human beings because of their background and how they became the cryptid they are. Oh, they don't like it. They don't want it. So not every cryptid is human. It's just that as a human being, I have a bias toward human characters. And even though I love my cryptids that aren't human, I talk about the human cryptids, like Polly and Clausy. I want to talk about Clausy one day. Polly's parents. I talk about Polly, well, not Polly's parent, Polly and Alan. Clausy and Alan, Polly's parents. So I'll try and talk about that again tomorrow. I want to thank each and every person that I do not have up on the screen at this moment. These are, they aren't here, but I have beautiful and awesome patrons who are beautiful and awesome people who are helping me to survive. Without these people's help, who are not on the screen, but I wish I could, I record and edit on my PlayStation. There's only so many elements that I can put on a screen before I use up all of the options, so I'm sorry, but without their help, I would be hosed like a Christmas monkey. I thank each and every person that has ever donated to my PayPal in the past, and to everybody who has ever donated to my GoFundMe. Thank you so very, very much. I'm also going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours once I turn off that spotlight. And then I have my Chrome here. So if I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. Yay! And even though I'm doing this, I'm not really doing that because it's American Sign Language, but it's just for stimming purposes. We have Jessie Koskinen. Amelia is doing as well as she can. She's not happy about change. I don't blame her. I'm not happy about change either. Confused Owl 29. It is always good to see you in the comments, my friend. I hope to see you in the comments for a long time to come. And thank you very, very much for the comments, and hope to see you again. Victor ESP, thumbs up and thank you very, very much. Made in Canada, greatly appreciated. Yeah, I tried, as much as I'm horribly depressed, I also have underneath it all a kind of a thread of optimism. So as much as things are horrible and get horrible, I have tried my best to at least laugh during some of it. So I've been doing my best through all of this and trying to see the bright side. There is a bright side, you know. If you get too comfortable in an area, you will stagnate. Stagnation is death. So all this shake-up and being moved around, that's good. I have been stuck in a rut in here with this situation for a long time. Stagnation. This is a change. It's awful and I hate it. But thumbs up. So we have Bazinga, thumbs up and thank you. There's Larry from space. I hope you have a nice day too. Adonis Rivera, good to see you in the comments, my friend. Thumbs up and thank you. And then we have Lumeria, who does not comment often, but they say that they still watch. It's good to see you. I hope you continue watching. I hate when names that I get to know vanish. So thumbs up and thank you much. And then we have Masodom. I don't know how to pronounce it, but thank you very, very much. RJ Mitchell, good to see you in the comments, my friend. Thumbs up and thank you. Then there is BRAQQAM, thumbs up and thank you. And there is NTYN, thumbs up. They're reacting, well, commenting on my Lil Peep reaction, where I am still sad that he died. When I think back on my reactions and his music, yeah, I still feel bad that that guy died. He had something special. And then we have Random Kid from Toxic Town. Good to see you in the comments again as well. And don't feel bad if you gain weight. You know, your body hates it in ways, but in other ways, your body wants you to gain weight. That's why it's so hard to keep weight off or lose weight once you've had weight. Your body wants you to gain weight because this is all protection from like famine. It'll keep you alive in times of danger. There's reasons we put on weight. There's reasons we hang on to it. So your body, it's just that we don't live in a situation where we need it. So thumbs up. Good to see you. We have Brian Glenn, who is said, good to know that Amelia has come back. So thumbs up. Thank you very much. I was actually thinking about you. RJD, thumbs up and thank you very, very much. There is DREOHONEKAY. Thumbs up. Thank you much. Greatly appreciated. Also, there was ELIKOSICC, who has a lot of like songs and stuff like that posted in there. And RegPeg, thumbs up, thank you much, greatly appreciated. Each and every one of you get me out of my head, into the world, into it. I've forgotten even how I say it. Out of my head, dealing with, yeah, you know how it goes, hopefully. My brain. So it's 27 minutes. I like to keep these under 30 minutes now. I used to keep them under 20. Now I don't know how I did that anymore. So I got a lot to do today still. I got packing. I've got phone calls. Oh boy. But mostly it's stuff that's in my home, so I don't have to go anywhere and do it. I just have to get stuff packed up and moved, and hopefully I am not going to destroy my nerves while I'm doing it. Hopefully you can get done the things that you need to get done. I'm going to, I don't know, I might get some stuff recorded to post for like Saturday onward. I'm going to stay here up to Saturday. I just don't have anything to sleep on yet. I need to get something cheap, like a cheap air mattress for like Friday night and Saturday night. And then I go in and turn in my key on Sunday, and then on Monday they're going to come through and inspect. So, yay. So hopefully you can get done the things that you want to get done. That'd be very cool. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing. And don't forget to subscribe to my OnlyFans if you want to watch a fat-bellied, sagging, cellulite-ridden older guy with the best pair of old man titties in Shelton, Washington. So thumbs up on that. Anyway, though, you take care, and yeah, where did I put it? Oh, here we are. Because I have to turn on the controller so I can turn off the recording. So yeah, it's 29 minutes and 30 seconds. This is going to be barely under a minute. You take care, and we'll see what happens, won't we?